This week on Brews and Books of the Week, I want to talk about my May book haul. Hello friends, and welcome to Red's Reading Cafe. I hope you're having a good day and hope you got you a coffee or a tea or whatever beverage you drink while you relax. And I have brewed more of that Illy Classico brew. I've definitely got a full cup here, so should be nursing that throughout the entire video. My wife also made biscuits. I should say American biscuits, because I know I have a few international friends on here. So American biscuits with strawberry jam. So I'll definitely enjoy that after I get done recording this video. This week, for the Brews and Books of the Week, I typically talk about what I'm reading, but what I'm reading or what I've read have come from part of the book haul. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the book haul and mention what I'm reading and what I've read at the end of the book haul. The first book we got is South of Broad by Pat Conroy. I've mentioned this in last week's video that I had got this to participate in the book club for Talking Story. I was really looking forward to reading this, but I ended up running out of time because I started halfway through the month while trying to finish up Oathbringer, and I really wanted to read something else first, and so I ended up pushing this too far back, and I would only have a few days to read this, so I'm not going to get to read it to participate in the book club, but I'm definitely going to read this book at some point. I know that Pat Conroy is a known writer for his beautiful prose and American storytelling. I know I had read the first chapter of this book to get ready for the book club and then realized I was running out of time, and I was absolutely loving the writing style, the humor, the wit, the emotion. So I'm already looking forward to seeing what the rest of the story is going to be about. It's not a DNF because I'm going to finish this eventually. It's just a pause button, essentially. The next book that I bought, again, and these were a mixture of things that I bought throughout going to a bookstore with my daughter, picking up a deal on Amazon, that kind of thing. They come from all over the place where I got these books. The next one's going to be The Road by Cormac McCarthy. So I've heard a lot of great things about this. I know the movie. I haven't watched the movie, and I probably will after I read this. I'm looking forward to reading it. It sounds like a very powerful story between a father and son in a post-apocalyptic setting. I have 3 kiddos, a daughter and 2 sons, so I know that from my understanding, it's much more powerful if you're a parent because you can really feel the perspective of being the father in this story. I've heard this book mentioned by several other YouTubers, and so this is a book that I'm looking forward to checking out eventually. The next book that I picked up is going to be Patient Zero by Jonathan Mayberry. This is a series I've never heard of before until John from Talking Story talked about the overall series of books that are written by this author because it's part of the Joe Ledger series. And again, I've never heard of these before, but John has a lot of positivity and enthusiasm. He's one of my favorite booktubers to watch. Brings a lot of positive energy to the day when I watch his stuff. And he was talking about this series of books, and so I'm like, okay, I've got to pick up Patient Zero. Let's see where this starts off and where it grows. So it's something I'm definitely looking forward to reading at some point. A quick note, in my video where I talked about the top 5 books I'm looking forward to reading this summer, which you can see right over here, I mentioned that today I would be talking about the entire TBR minus the top 5 that I've already talked about for this summer, but I'm going to wait till next Monday because 1, it'll actually officially be moving into June, which is technically the season where I'm starting all of that, but 2, I have one more book that's coming in that is going to be a part of that TBR, so I'm looking forward to that. It's part of a book club that I've joined. So I'm part of 2 book clubs. I don't think I should join anymore right now. Maybe I'll host one eventually. We'll see. That being said, that's why I wanted to talk about the book haul that I have for May today. All right, the next book that I got is going to be Shogun Part 1 by James Clavell. Yes, I read Stormlight Archive books. I should be able to buy the whole big book of this, but I just wanted to split it up. One, I like the design of the books. I really wish they didn't put this as part of the printing. I wish like that's a sticker could have peeled off. I don't need advertisement on my book. I am looking forward to reading this. I've heard many great things from many YouTubers, booktubers like Ian Gabelli, where this is an amazing series of historical fiction. And so definitely looking forward to reading the book and definitely looking forward to watching the show at some point. But again, I wanted to pick up part 1, then I can just read part 2 later on because sometimes it can be a bit of a marathon trying to cram in such a huge book. And I mean, this book is nearly 700 700 pages. So yeah, we're up in Stormlight Archive territory, right? But anyways, I'm excited to read this book eventually. The next book that I picked up is going to be The Failures by Benjamin Lyer. So this is a book that I saw from Mike's Book Reviews, where he talked about it and he thought it was worth recommending to his audience. And so I'm looking forward to it. He did, set expectations that it could be a bit tough to read, but he says it's worth the investment. And so I'm definitely looking forward to reading it. This is book 1 of the Wonderlands. My understanding is that Benjamin Lyer has been prepping this series for a long time, and so he's finally gotten to where it's been published. And Mike talked about how this was a surprise read. It was a great read and worth the investment and worth pushing through some of the parts that could be a little bit difficult to read. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking this out eventually. The next book I have is Kelsey Grammer's Karen, A Brother Remembers. So this is a memoir written by the awesome and amazing actor, one of my favorites, Kelsey Grammer. I love him for Frasier, I love him for Sideshow Bob, and some of the other parts. I never watched Cheers growing up. It wasn't my generation. I was right on the cusp, but I do love Frasier and everything. But this is the story of his sister. For those who don't know, his sister was murdered at the age of 18. A lot of other worse things happened to her that I don't want to get into here. But this is his story about her. It's his way of remembering her. It's a way of telling her story. There is the horrific side of the story, but there's also a lot of beauty to the story of her growing up and him remembering her from childhood, because I think they're a year apart. He's a year older, if I remember correctly. I have to double check that. I thought this would be a beautiful read and an impactful one because, my dad, I lost him in 2010 and have great memories of him. And I've understand the value of wanting to be remembered. And so it's something that I think is really important. It's something that I want to do. It's one reason why I started this channel too, not just for the ADHD and pushing myself, but just having a fun thing that could be found on the internet where you get to hear me talking about cool stuff. My kids can check it out if they want to, but also to encourage me to maybe one day write a book and get one published of the storytelling that I like, so I can tell cool stories to people because it's something I'm passionate about and I want to be remembered that way. But more importantly, this is his story of remembering his sister, and I think that's a beautiful thing, and so I want to participate in helping her memory be carried on. So there's definitely a book that I'm looking forward to reading. The next book I want to talk about that I got is Mythos by Stephen Fry. So for those who do know or don't know, Stephen Fry is a British actor, comedian. There's a lot of things about Stephen Fry that make him awesome, but he's very passionate about history. And so he wrote this book talking about the Greek mythology, the myth of the Greek mythology. And this was actually a recommendation from my grandmother, the one that I talked about the top 5 influences. She's the one who got me into Harry Potter. She mentioned that she was listening to the audiobook for this because Stephen Fry does the audiobook. I went to Barnes & Noble and saw that they had this. I'm like, I want to get the physical copy. So it's a beautiful book. I love the way this looks. I love the orange. It has the burnt orange, so I'm a Texas Longhorn guy, so I love that too. So, I'm really looking forward to reading the stories of Greek mythology, but with that British wit and humor that comes along with Stephen Fry. So this is such a cool looking book. It looks cool. And I had listened to the first chapter on the spot, because it's on Spotify. If you have premium, you can get the audiobook for this and listen to it right away. And so I listened to the first chapter, like, this is so good. And I really like immersion reading, so I went ahead and picked up the physical book. Okay, so the next book that I got here is one that I've got and I've already read it. I was too excited when I got it, and that is going to be Discovery by J.A.J. Minton. So this is Talking Story. So Talking Story is comprised of John, Amy, and Jacob Minton. So they're a really cool group of people. I was super excited to support them when I got this. It's a cool thing too because it's actually, so it's book 1 of the series, and it is a signed copy of the book, which is cool. And I got my little library thing on here. And it came with a really beautiful bookmark. So hopefully that comes into focus. I'll put it up close and pull it away and see if it focuses it. So a beautiful bookmark. I actually support their Patreon. I just started that as a producer level, and you get another bookmark, a different one, and a sticker. I don't know where I'm going to put the sticker, but I'm excited. Regardless, I absolutely love this book. It's something that I got this past month that I've already read. I was too excited and I could not put it down and ended up blowing right through it. This is book 1. I'm already excited for book 2. I have never thought about trying to think about book of the year contenders, but I did make a shelf on Goodreads to help me start thinking about that, and this one's going on here. There are so many cool things about this. I really want to get into it, but I think it's much better to save the Café chat for it where I talk about it, so I'll talk about this very soon, and you can hear more of my thoughts. But needless to say, I loved it. I can already tell you that it's a 5-cut book, but I want to go into more details with a video just for the book itself. So needless to say, this is a book that I've read. We're kind of going into what I got this month, but also what I've read. So the last book that I got, and the current book that I'm reading right now actually, is The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. This book's awesome so far from what I've read. I do know from different people that it slows down quite a bit in terms of pacing, but that's something that usually doesn't bug me. I like to just see the worlds that people create and the characters as an author explores them. And my understanding is that's what happens. It really starts to slow down. A really cool looking book. I love the art on the inside, and then you have the cool red design there. So it's just a cool look for the lore. I actually, while I read this, I'm playing what is it, like Warhammer 40k, like Gregorian chants. It's kind of like this dark academia chant kind of stuff. It just has a cool moody vibe to it that sounds really cool, and it's fitting for the lore and just the theme of this book. Enjoying the read so far, looking forward to finishing it. This is technically my first book of my summer TBR, so no, I'm looking forward to checking it out. It looks cool. I've watched Mike's interview with Joe Abercrombie, and that's what kind of made me get excited and went ahead and pick it up once I finished Discovery. So that is what I have been reading. Now, what have I been playing? Well, I'm continuing to play the Pixel Remaster of Final Fantasy for my gaming channel, Deku Tree Dad, so you can check that out right around here somewhere. I just finished up recording a little bit earlier, my latest part that I'm in. Regardless, I'm having a lot of fun, extremely passionate about gaming, and so it's cool to dive into that gaming history, especially me being a huge fan of Final Fantasy. And I'm also excited too. I was very fortunate. My wife did give me the green light. I had a very dear friend of mine reach out and said, hey, I have an extra Switch 2 that I picked up, and I want to sell it to you for MSRP because I don't want you, he doesn't want to scalp. In fact, I think he bought a bunch of them so he can kind of fight the scalping things. He wants his friends to be able to buy it for a better price. I'm going to be able to pick up a Switch 2. And that being said, what I'm really excited about is not, I am getting into Mario Kart World, which is going to be a lot of fun, but I'm honestly super excited to play Breath of the Wild at 4K with 60 frames per second. I have a gaming TV that I use that is 120 hertz refresh rate, and so I'm excited to play Breath of the Wild because my understanding from people who have checked it out is it really feels like a different game for something that is one of my all-time favorite games. I mean, I've got a Breath of the Wild art book that my mother got me over my shoulder. I'm a huge Zelda fan. Zelda is my favorite game of all time. I'm wearing a Link shirt for that reason. So I'm really excited, especially because I was just getting ready to start playing Breath of the Wild while my son hangs out with me while I play, so we can kind of go through that journey together, because I did the same thing with my daughter and it was a blast. So I'm looking forward to going through Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but playing the Switch 2 versions. Really excited about that. So people will say, is it really worth your time spending that much money? It's a Father's Day gift and a birthday gift from my wife, so I'm just extremely fortunate to be able to get it. I'm looking forward to getting it next week and playing those. But Mario Party World will be fun, and then whatever other games they have on the docket down the road, I'll be looking forward to. But just to be able to play Zelda at that graphics level and that smoothness, that's a lot of hours that I know I'm going to be dumping into that game again with my son. So I'm super stoked to go through that. Having a lot of fun with Final Fantasy right now. And I'm also playing Hogwarts Legacy with my daughter because she has that on her Switch and I've got it on my PlayStation. So we're kind of going through it. It's a game that I've played before, but I've never beaten. I think I played like the first maybe 20% of the game. So I'm going to go through that with her. As she's playing her game, I'm playing mine, so I'll be going through Ravenclaw, she'll be Hufflepuff, because that's our jam. Another game I'm enjoying too is Valheim. So me and one of my closest buddies in the world, one of my brothers basically, just started playing. Like I've had a lot of trouble playing because I've been gassed at the end of the day, not feeling good. And so been pushing to do better about that. And so he and I started playing Valheim last week, and it was a lot of fun. It's that survival-esque style game, but I love the aesthetic. I love the theme. The graphics, the music are good, and it's just a very chill game. We play other games too. We like to play online games like the Finals, Marvel Rivals. We just downloaded Battlefront 2 because it's starting to rise in popularity again. So I'm looking forward to checking that out again. Just a lot of fun games on the radar right now. Some for myself, some with my family, and then some with friends. So having a blast. Upcoming on the schedule, so you can see over my shoulder, I've got 3 Body Problems sitting on the bookshelf, the one that shows off what I'm going to be talking about. So look forward to that Café chat coming out this Friday, and then whatever video I decide to come up with for this weekend, look forward to that. So Today's inspirational quote I picked from a list of inspirational quotes you can find from Mr. Rogers. He's very inspirational to me. One of the vibes that I wanted to do for this channel was to create something that's relaxing, like Mr. Rogers or Bob Ross, because that's just something that is precious to me. And again, it's just something that's relaxing, especially with my anxiety. I can get stressed out some days. And so it's nice just to listen to something that's very calming. And so that was really one of my intentions, was to create a BookTube space that had a little bit of that. Sometimes I get excited and I bring a lot of energy that's beyond Mr. Rogers. And I know that I do that, but I also try to keep it calm. I've already gotten several compliments over my voice, and I'm thankful that that's a gift from God that I make it nice and calm for you. So I hope that you enjoy that. So here's the quote that he had from Mr. Rogers. All of us at some time or another need help. Whether you're giving or receiving help, each one of us has something valuable to bring to this world. This is something that's cool because I'm still very new in the BookTube space. I think I have 81 subscribers, which is awesome. I mean, just a few weeks ago, I was celebrating 50, and that took months. And now I've got 31 more on top of that. So it's a really cool blessing, and extremely thankful to you all who have subscribed. That means a lot to me. It genuinely does. And with me being so new to this space, there's a lot of people I'm learning from. And there's some people that have helped me already that have reached out for some guidance. There's some collaborations I'm trying to start, and people are willing to share their time. And I'm extremely thankful for that, for the help that they're providing. And I'm looking forward to providing help to whoever needs it if they reach out to me. You're welcome to reach out to me. You can access my email through this channel, or leave a comment asking for help on certain things regarding BookTube. It's really cool, and it's cool too because Mr. Rogers always knew that every single person on this planet has something valuable that they can bring to this world, and it's a matter of making sure to help those people tap into it. And it's unfortunate for those who don't ever find it and either get consumed by this world or destroyed by this world in some way or another. And so it's a sad thing. And so it's really good to get the inspiration from Mr. Rogers to know that there's something that we can all bring to the table and help each other with. I know that I'm starting to write a little bit more just because I had some encouragement from some people to do so. And so it's not the top priority right now, but that was a main goal for me eventually to start writing a book. Chance Dillon was very inspiring to me because, he's a fellow booktuber who is releasing a book in a few months. Mercy, Tears of the Fallen. It's technically a book that I got, but it's an advanced reader copy. I'd rather have a physical book to show eventually, so I'll have to get that eventually. But it was inspiring for him to talk about his journey in creating this story. And it meant a lot to me because it's something that I've thought about and I haven't done yet, but I'm going to a little bit more now thanks to that. And even though that wasn't his intention out of the gate to help, he was wanting to do something to grow. He involuntarily helps people by inspiring them. And so Chance, if you're watching this, I really appreciate that, man. It's something that I'm enjoying. Just again, maybe write a paragraph here or there, but there's a bit more drive behind doing that. So thankful for that. A quick side note, I almost know this video is done, but if you hear any crazy kids, school's out. It's, for summer. And so you might hear some kids going crazy in this house. What books have you been reading this week? Let me know in the comments what you're reading, what you're looking forward to. Are there any books on the horizon that you're excited about that are coming up soon? And if you really enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you hit the like button, because it does help the algorithm know that people are enjoying this content and tries to share it to more people to discover me. So I would appreciate that if you could. Finally, if you want to see more of my content that I'm sharing out, feel free to hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you join the cafe and just see what's going on and what I'm making. So hopefully you're going to enjoy this video and then the videos that I've made and videos to come. So we'll see what happens, right? Thank you again for coming to the cafe. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to having you here again. But until next time, I hope that you have a blessed day.